show me where to sit so I won't be on screen.
It doesn't. You won't be on screen unless you get in the
Okay.
thing. You can see.
Oh. Now is it audio too or just video?
Yeah, it's on.
Oh, okay.
I set up. Like I said, we're not streaming. We're just recording.
Yeah, so we can edit it if we don't want.
Hey, Waddies. Okay. So today is 1 week of having Krysa with us. So we are going to, yeah, they can't see you. So we are going to be working on our 7th day of intros. Oh, Krysa. And hopefully tomorrow, if everything goes well, we can introduce her into the cage.
Yes, that is our goal.
Randy's. Hello.
So we had done a couple of days of Great Wall introductions to start with, which ended in a couple of fights because Krysa was very nervous and some of the other rats were a little too dominant with trying to groom her and pin her. And it wasn't so much they were fighting her, it was just she's been isolated her whole life. She's almost 2 years old, so she's not used to other rat behavior at first. So she didn't understand that the grooming wasn't a threat and it wasn't an attack. So she just kind of freaked out. So what we did is we backed off and we've been doing a lot with the bonding pouch instead of the wall to just get her used to being with other rats and cuddling other rats. And what she's done, she really likes to explore, so she's gotten out of the pouch then after several minutes of snuggles and like played under the cover with me, and then the other rats would go play with her under the covers, so she's gotten a lot more comfortable with it.
So how many, I'm losing count of red.
Oh.
How many did you have?
I had 3, but plus Krysa, so 2 from our cage. So you should have 6.
You have Pinky?
Yeah, I had Pinky and Toro.
Pinky and Toro, I guess.
No, I had Toro.
I think that's all of them.
Okay. You want to bring a wheel over? They like having the wheel. Yeah, in the snack shack. They like the wheel in the snack shack.
Oh, I got a Peter.
Oh, Peter. So yesterday I had tried the Great Wall again and it went so much better. Krysa was much calmer with the other rats. And they were calmer with her. Like she could tolerate being groomed. She wasn't freaking out. The only one she had a little scuffle with was Pinky, and I scolded them in my mom voice, and they worked it out, and had some snuggle time then under the cardboard box, which you can see there. And so just now, before we put them in the wall, I had some snuggle time with Pinky and Toro and Krysa in the bonding pouch, because Pinky got very upset at first. She's still being a little dramatic, and she tried to fight her in the pouch, but I scolded them again and broke them up. You can tell I'm the alpha kitten. Stop it. You can tell I'm the alpha rat because they listen to their mommy and they calm down when mommy puts her hand in there. Like, oh, the alpha rat has spoken. So yeah, so she and Pinky seem to have just worked some stuff out. So we're hoping that this playtime will go really well. And then we're hoping that tomorrow she'll be confident enough to get into the cage with everybody. Come here, kitten, you can sit with me. You can sit with me. Because we know once they're in the cage, there's bound to be some dominant fights and struggles, but we want Krysa to be confident enough and feel non-threatened enough that she can work it out on her own without it resorting to like a bad fight with blood drawn and things like that. So that's our hope, is that she's become self-assured enough that she can hold her own in the cage despite minor dominant struggles, which will undoubtedly come from Toro, Nim, and Pinky. There's a whole pile of ratties under there. 1, 2, 3. Do we have Squeaks and Annie? I see Squeaks.
Pretty sure I put Annie in there.
Is she in the wheel? Sometimes Annie likes to be in the wheel or the igloo. Oh, she's in the igloo, I think. Is that her and Baby Groot in the igloo? Somebody's in the igloo. That's baby Groot. You see Annie? Okay, so they're all in there? Okay. Here, tip it over again. Tip it over. They like it tipped over.
There you go.
Yes. I know we love them. The more baddies, the better. Unless you're a hoarder, and then that's too many. But as long as it's appropriate for the size of your cage, then it's good. Aww. So yeah, Pinky is that little white one, the albino one. Krysa is the very light tan one. She's kind of a silky kind of color, I guess. I don't know what to call her. I've never seen her that color. We haven't owned one that she's by the igloo right now, that particular shade of gray.
Talking about them?
No, Krysa.
Oh, Krysa.
Yeah,
So she's like champagne colored.
Champagne, that's a good word for it. Here comes your kitten.
Kitten, don't knock the camera over, please. Yes.
Kitten likes to sit with Matt when he's at his computer, so you know this is his daddy. Come on, kitten, you can go see daddy. So by the cardboard box right now, that's Nim or Alpha. She just ran into it. That's baby Groot with the little stripe going down her back. Let's see. You can see our semi-hairless Fievel sticking his head out right now from the cardboard box. I assume, can they see the whole whole playground from the video? Okay. All right, sorry, I'm not looking at the video, listeners.
You can see
you can see it all.
You can see it all. Yeah,
okay. So this is Toro trying to get on top of the box. Now he's my special baby who was also isolated for most of his life, but he's a very dominant rat.
Oh, Toro.
Toro. Yeah.
There you go, Peter.
No, Toro.
Who's in the wheel right now?
I don't know who's in the wheel right now. So that's Pinky, the little white one. Smallest girl, and she wants to be the leader. She's Nim's daughter, so she takes after her mama. That's Nim running around like a maniac. Now Nim's gonna try to jump out. She doesn't like to stay in there too long, and if the igloo and things are too close to the edge, she tries to jump out. She's never made it, but Peter is able to jump from the ground to the top of the wall and land on the edge, but then he can't walk on it, so he just gets stuck there when he does that. So that's why, you know, you always have to supervise your rats when they're in the wall, and whenever they're playing, like, you don't ever want to let them play unsupervised. And that's Squeaks, who just came out, the all brown one, who's very dark brown or dark black, however you want to think of that. She's a sweet little girl. She's one of our shyer ratties. There's Fievel sticking his little head out of the igloo. You can see he's hairless. Oh, Toro's trying to get into the wheel. It was baby Groot in the wheel. So baby Groot and Annie are both Dumbo ears, and they both have similar colored hoods. So if they're not right next to each other, sometimes I get a little confused which is which. But actually their eyes do look a little different. So I usually have a pretty good guess, but sometimes if I can't see their eyes straight on, I'm not sure which one it is until they come out. Yes, Nim's contemplating a jump, I think. Look at her.
Where is she?
She's on top of the box. And so it's good, by the way, when you're doing playtime. When we first did the introductions, we didn't have any toys in the wall at all because we needed them to be able to sniff each other, and we needed to be able to break it up quickly if there was a fight, so we needed to really see what was happening. But since we've done the bonding pouch a lot, you know, we knew they were ready. And so when you're just doing like a free playtime, it's good for them to have stuff like the fabric, and they like having stuff to hide in so they feel safe, and, you know, giving them a wheel is good so they have something to do if they just want to run in their wheel. So, you know, make it fun for them.
Nim's looking to jump out.
I know she is. I know. She might try to start in a second. She's thinking about it.
I know if we came over there, she'd jump right
She
into my
would.
arms.
She would. She totally would. She's still, I think, interested enough in Krysa and in the play stuff to explore for a little bit. But
There's no fight so far. That's
I
pretty
know
good.
that is really, really good.
We've been going for 10 minutes now.
Oh, good.
See?
Yeah. Well, yesterday I had him in here for probably at least 30 minutes, and the only little tussle was once with Pinky. And after I scolded them, they actually spent like another 15 or 20 minutes together, and they were fine.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Now, you can tell which rats like to run in the wheel because see how their little tail starts to curl up? Like Peter's tail is curled because he likes to run in the wheel. Because they have to hold it up when they're running in the wheel. And, you know, just muscle memory, I guess, from doing it a lot. Their tails start to curl up all the time. So you can tell there's Peter getting ready to get on top of the igloo. And he's got the little curly tail. And Annie and Squeak, Stu, and Baby Groot. Those are mostly like there's Baby Groot with her little curly tail.
Cute, they're like little scorpions.
Oh, I love it. I think it just looks like the cutest little curly cue when it does that. Oh, there's Krysa. She's sticking her head out, sniffing Toro a little bit. She's coming out of the cardboard box. I feel like we're on Animal Planet, baby, with streaming, with the narrating.
Well, it's not streaming. This is
Well,
recording.
all right, but then you all know.
It's going to be YouTube.
Yes, you all know what I mean. I'm not as up on the tech-savvy languages. So you can see Peter's got the Rex hair, which is the curly hair. So it looks a little shaggier from a distance, I guess, than the other rats. And up close, he's got curly whiskers. Krysa's a little explorer rat. She really likes to explore, and she seemed a lot more chill yesterday with all the other rats. Like, she didn't really mind so much, except for when Pinky got freaked out and tried to fight her. But, you know, and she defended herself. But she's seeming pretty cool with everybody. So I'm hoping that tomorrow we can clean out the main cage so it's free from scents and territorial stuff and put them all in there, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna clean the whole cage out while I put them in the wall.
Yeah.
And reorganize everything.
Right. Yeah, and then of course what we'll do, just for our listeners, we'll supervise them for a couple hours when we first put them all in the cage together, just in case there's any really bad fights that we have to take her out. Because you know, you don't ever just want to put a new introduction in like that unsupervised, because you have to be careful.
Yeah, there's always a chance that they're not gonna get along.
Nim's trying to jump out. But like with well, she's alright. She's not on top of anything. She just tried to jump from the floor, and she can't make it from the floor. Peter can though. But yeah, like with Toro, when we put him in the cage, he started having bad fights with Pinky. And after the first fight, you know, I just broke it up and tried to see if they could make up. But he just wasn't ready to be in the cage yet because he attacked her twice more. So we had to go back to having another week of him by himself, living by himself, but still having supervised playtime and a lot of bonding pouch time. Yeah. Oh, she tried to do it from the cardboard box.
Oh,
Nim, I'm watching you. Mama Nim, I'm watching you. Oh, and so one thing I did yesterday that I did with Toro, and I'm not really talking so much to you, babe. I feel like I'm just talking to the listeners while you're watching. But, all right. Well, so what I did is, with Toro, what we had done is introduced him to the main cage with just a couple of the rats and put the baby girls who were being more dramatic with him in his cage. And we did that for a couple days to let them all get used to each other's scents and also to let Toro just get used to living in a cage with other rats without being overwhelmed. So what I did yesterday was Toro and Nim got a little bored with the Great Wall after a while because they're like the alpha explorers. They tend to get bored faster than the other ones I've noticed. So I put them in Krysa's cage without her so that they could mark it with their scent, so that while she's living in it for these last couple days, she'll get used to living with their scent. and hopefully that'll help her adjust a little bit better to living with them in the main cage. So we shall see. Like, you know, these are all little tricks you can do to help rats when it's like a difficult introduction. And I have to say, it's especially difficult with rats who have been isolated for almost their whole life. Kitten, don't do that.
Come on.
Kitten, you can come sit with mommy if you want. Now Nim's gonna try to jump to
Oh,
you.
hello, Nim.
He's like, Daddy. Oh, they're all like, Daddy, Daddy, we love you, Daddy. Come sit with us, Daddy. Yes.
Yay.
Good to meet me. Kitten, come here, baby. You want to sit with mommy? Come here, kitten.
Yeah, I apologize for the slightly out of focus picture, but we can't really get it much better without putting really bright lights on them, and I don't want to.
Oh no, I
I don't
want
want to do that to the rats.
That's not good for rats, for their eyes, and they don't like to live in bright light anyway.
You're nocturnal, aren't you? Aren't you, Amy?
Yes, they're nocturnal.
Oh, your schedule's a little messed
Well.
up. We wake you up in the middle of the day.
But you
You
stay
got
up late
daytime.
with them, so that they actually really like that.
Yep.
Oh,
And
I
they
heard
adapt
squeak,
well.
but
Like
it's
I think they adapt well to different schedules too.
Yeah, I think so.
Like
'Cause
hamsters tend to they'll sleep all day no matter what.
Yeah, our hamsters that we've had have always been like that. They haven't. It's been harder to interact with the hamsters, but the rats, like I noticed, like they're a little active in the morning when they know that. Well, for us it's like noon because we have a night schedule, but they're more active at noon when they get their breakfast, and then they tend to sleep. But then they're more active like late afternoon, and then they take another nap, and then around evening they're kitten. Do you want to get him?
Come on, kitten.
Come sit with mommy, kitten. Yes, I know. Come sit with mommy. Now, so by the way, for our viewers who might be freaking out that we have a cat, he can't get in the wall, and we are very careful not to let him jump in the wall. But you can tell we don't like when he bats at it like that.
But different cats do
Exactly.
differently with rats.
And
so
I have to say, we know our own cat really well.
the current cat kitten does not do great with them, and we can't really.
Well, he's not bad with them though.
He generally will leave them alone in the cage most of the time. When I first got him, he was way more interested than he is.
Oh, baby. Oh, he
today.
wants to see you, baby. Oh, go see daddy. Go see daddy.
But then he kind of got used to it after a while. My old cat could care less about the rats.
Yeah. Well, and part of it, like with kitten, now again, not every cat you're going to be able to train, or you might not have the skills or resources to train. I used to teach pre-K, so I trained kitten a lot, like I used to train my pre-K kids, because I realized as long as he could see the rats, it would work. It was just like, you couldn't tell him, no, he can't even look at the rats, because then he's going to find a way to do it on his own, and he's going to be sassy and do it when you're not looking and when you're not home. But so what I tried to train him to do is to be gentle, which means like he can't bat at the cage, you know, and he can't jump on the cages, and, you know, and like I reward him with positive praise. Like if he just puts his little nose up there, but he's not like putting his paws and stuff, when they're in the cage. Now, in the wall, the reason why he's batting is because he can't see them real clearly. So I guess he feels like the same rules don't apply. Because, oh, I can't really tell they're the rats, even though I know they're the rats. You know, he's being a little sassy pants. But he's a pretty good boy. And so, you know, like I said, I would not do this with every cat by any means. You have to still supervise extraordinarily closely, and you have to know your cat, and you have to know that, you know, you always have to be ready for an emergency, I guess. You shouldn't ever take a chance. Yes, he's a good one. He just wanted to snuggle with Daddy, I guess. Look at him. Oh, well, we're not going to show you on the video, but he's being very sweet with Matt right now. And also, I think it helped, like, when I met Matt, I had parakeets, so I got them super strong cages, like as strong as the rat cages, instead of like those little flimsy ones that you get at the pet store. And we trained Kitten with a water bottle. We would spray him with a water bottle if he jumped on the birds. He did not like that, but he learned pretty quick not to do that. And he's for the most part a good boy. He still jumps up there once in a while to be sassy, but you know, for the most part, he's pretty good. And I think that kind of helped him calm down with the rats too.
Alright, well that's 20 minutes. I think that's good enough for the video.
Alright.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching. This is The Nerdy Rat. You can check us out at thenerdyrat.com, and we have a podcast that's every 2 weeks.
Alright, thanks.